Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with three S's. I'm your host, Chantele Francis, here with Miss Mansa to talk about episode 5 of Love Island UK All-Stars. How are you doing this Sunday, Miss Mansa?
I'm good. I'm having a great little lazy day. It's it's like the weather's not too cold. Like I went to the gym, doing all my self-care and talking about my favorite show. So it's a good day.
It's a good day. Well, I'm kind of tired. I've flown for the last 2 nights in a row. And so I got home pretty late. So I'm just kind of my voice is kind of croaky and I'm kind of tired, but I am happy to talk about this season, this episode. As much as I wasn't that excited about it. I'm getting into it.
Yeah, I think we're starting to get into the mess. But this is what I've always felt about the UK seasons is that they are a little bit of a slow burn, but then once they get started, they really give us the entertainment value. And I'm starting to feel that right now.
That happened with, what season was it? The season with Faye.
Oh, yeah. That season, it started off so boring. And I was like, this is one of the worst seasons I've ever seen. And then they really just came out swinging. I really hope that they gave Faye her extra checks because she brought us so much.
Well, I think that they had a problem with Faye because of Ofcom or whatever.
Oh yeah, I heard all the complaints.
I talked a lot about Faye, and I was defending her quite a bit because I'm like, she's allowed to pop off. You know what I mean? Like she's allowed to it's not right. Like yes, maybe she should be more mature and maybe take it down a notch. But it's the fact that she's not allowed to just express herself fully. It's just kind of it was really frustrating that she was getting so much hate around it.
Yeah.
And anyway,
I don't think it was even about her behavior. It was the lip liner. People were mad and they didn't know how to express it. So
I think you're right. They didn't like the lip liner. Oh my god.
That's what it was. It was misplaced anger.
So Ofcom is actually
they're like, I can't look at this lip combo anymore. Get her off my screen.
I can't believe you're calling that out because it bothered me so much.
It bothered everyone.
Hilarious. Well, this episode we had no lip liner to talk about, but I did look at Molly. I've tried to overline my lips, and it just looks so stupid on me.
Yeah,
I mean, just because I have bigger lips. Yeah. And we also even get Chris mentioning that he has no lips this episode. I was like, you know what? Maybe the kiss wasn't actually great.
You think so? You think that's what it was?
I have I kissed anybody with no lips? Maybe once, and it's not good. It's weird. It's just like feel like you're kissing their their face.
Yeah, you're like, what's happening here? It's not enough tension, enough passion, enough anything. Yeah,
it's weird. It's weird. It's like two little mini rubber sausages.
Rubber sausages. Oh my god! I'm gonna visualize that forever.
Well, we start this episode with the recoupling, and Josh is up first. I have to say, maybe it's because Josh brought some energy into the villa. Why I'm enjoying this season more now, because the OG boys are definitely, in my opinion, not it. And I wasn't necessarily a big Josh fan, but he's bringing it for me. I like him.
I was always a Josh fan because I love a little cheeky chappy. And, he's a troublemaker, right? Yeah. And, he doesn't take anything too seriously. He's always just kind of laughing. And even when he did have conflicts, you could tell he was always kind of a little bit tongue in cheek about it. There's something lighthearted energy about him. So I love Josh.
Yeah, I'm so happy that he's on here now. It's because he recognizes that it's boring. He's like, okay, let's turn this up. So he chooses Georgia Harrison. Were we surprised by this pick? He went on a date.
Given everything that they spoke about, right? They had recently dated, they have chemistry, and also watching the 3 dates, it seemed like he was the most invested in her. So I wasn't surprised by that.
Well, and then also, though, we have Georgia Steele being in her date, being like, I can't believe you choose me. I'm the most coupled up out of anybody here. And so do you think with how this episode goes, if he knew that they were more open than she led him to believe, that he might have chosen her.
I mean, I wonder, maybe. I get the sense from a lot of the guys that they're not going for Georgia Steele because she's been so locked off with Toby. So I'm actually interested to see what's going to happen after the events of this episode, who starts shooting their shot at her.
I think that Toby doesn't realize that he has a hot commodity.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's Toby's problem. We're going to get into it, but I did not like how he was speaking to her, how he was behaving. Yeah, and I think that it's really going to shoot him in the foot.
Well, Georgia does, at the beginning of this episode, choose Toby to recouple with, saying that she finds him so attractive, so good looking. Does she really?
I don't know. I mean, you know how she said the very first recoupling, I don't know if I should go for comfort or something new. And I think that she's with him because she feels a sense of security. I don't really get that energy from her that she's really that attracted to him. Just more so like that she feels like safe and is happy just to have kind of
like she knows him already. She doesn't have to like get to know him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think also the alternative, Anton is not her type at all.
No.
And so I think that she's like, like Toby's definitely way more my type than Anton is. Like, and I know him already. I'm just gonna go with that route because I don't think she wants to open up to Anton because she's not interested in him.
No.
To be honest.
Yeah. Poor Anton. I wonder who I don't know who is gonna be his type at all.
I don't know. Hi, Rachel. Thanks for being here.
Yes.
Maybe Liberty could have been his type if like that like happened.
I can see them together, but I don't see Liberty giving him a chance.
Right. No, you're right. No way. Okay, how do you feel about the music that they choose for the recoupling, especially this early on into the season? It's so like romantic, and it's like swelling, and like it's ballads.
I wasn't buying it. No, I was definitely not buying it. I get that they need to add drama and kind of some tension, but it's too early. We don't buy any of these couples. Like even Callum and Molly, I'm like, what are you people doing here? Like, I don't know. So the music is, I guess, trying to force a familiarity or some kind of emotion that I'm not feeling.
Right. It's like, oh, let's make you think that these people are in this is a really romantic moment and a romantic gesture, them saying who they want to recouple with. And you're just like, they don't even like each other. Like, now, what were the producers doing with putting Kaz next?
I mean, they were being messy. They were being messy because, and I knew they were going to put Kaz next. I knew they were going to put her next the second I saw the clip for the recoupling, because obviously they know that Demi and Lewis have just hooked up. And I mean, I think also Kaz really had an inkling, but as she said, she kind of was just like, fuck it. You know what? Like, I'm not going to count myself out just because I have a suspicion about something. I'm going to go for what I want. But they really set her up. This whole season is a setup. Like, and then I just need free Kaz. It's
so disrespectful, though. Do you know what I mean? Like, absolutely. It's like, ha, eggs on your face. We all know he don't like you. You have an idea that he don't like you, but you have no other options because we didn't give you any. So
exactly,
we're gonna see you look stupid.
Yeah. No, I'm truly hoping that the next male bombshell is someone for Kaz, because this is getting ridiculous.
Is it going to be, though? I don't think so.
Fingers crossed.
So annoying. So when she sits down with Lewis, she asks him if he's okay. And I'm like, that's not really the way that you want to go about your recoupling ceremony, in my opinion.
No, like, not at all. She knew something was off. She could see in his face that he was kind of like a little bit resigned and pretending to be happy. And then we'll get into what happens later. But like, if I had recoupled with someone and then had to meet them with that kind of energy afterwards, I would have pulled a Jake and gone home.
Well, Rachel here wants to know if we think the cast should have chosen Lewis given what she suspected.
I mean, if it was me, absolutely not, because I follow my intuition
But like, who would you have picked then, or who should she have picked instead?
Exactly. But that's why I respect her, because she's like, he's the only one that I like, even though I know that this, like, there's probably something off. Like, what else could she have done?
Well, I think I would have been even messier.
What would you have done?
I would have been like, I don't know. I heard through the grapevine that there might have been a kiss shared with the only person that I've been talking to, but none of the parties have said anything about it to me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the information that I know, and is that I'm building a relationship with Lewis right now. So unless you have something to say, I'm choosing you.
Well, so the thing about that, I agree. I love the mess. And I think that she should have called them out. But unfortunately, as we know, she's the only Black woman in the household, right? If she starts a speech off like that, everyone's turning on her like, why are you being messy, blah, blah, blah. It's like, it becomes a bigger thing, you know?
But like if you're not going to get the guy, you get the viewership.
Yeah.
You be like, okay, you know that she's going to come in like a terror. And if she's going to call everybody up for their bullshit, she's not going to like be walked all over. Like, yeah. I don't know. I'd take that if I knew that like my person wasn't in the villa.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm going to have to
exactly. Say it with her chest. That's what she needs to do. And she kind of did to some extent.
So Rachel here thinks that her only issue was the speech she gave. She was too complimentary of him. Absolutely. And she did not mention his veneers. She should have given him bare minimum and been petty. Yeah, I would have been petty.
Yeah.
I would have been petty, and like people would be like, oh, she's just like butthurt. And I'll be like, yeah, I am.
Yeah. She's like, yeah, I am. And that's the thing, is that she was rightfully butthurt about that, right? Like, yeah. He laughed in her face and said, when she said, when are we going to the terrace? And then immediately took someone else up to the terrace.
I mean, the veneer thing is a very UK thing. Like the type of veneers that they get is very UK style, and it's just not for me.
I think it must be like the budget package in Turkey.
Yeah, like I guess like has he been working? Has he been boxing? Like, do you not have the funds to go for like
exactly.
And like, do they not try to replicate a real smile?
I don't know. I mean, everyone has their own insecurities, so maybe this was like what he thought looked good. But you know what it is?
It looks so good.
It's the shade of white as well, and the shape of the tooth.
It's just too flat.
It's too flat. Yeah.
Like people think that I have perfect teeth, but like my teeth are not, like my jaw is crooked. Like it's all messy still, but like I think it looks nice. You know what I mean? Like having a little bit of imperfections and like just
it's
normal. I like looking normal, I guess. What it is that calling out is. For me, veneers, the ones that he has just don't look good to me. I don't think. Could you date someone that had teeth that bad?
Ooh, yes, but I would slowly but surely plant the seed that they need to fix them.
You wouldn't just love him for who he is?
No.
So Rachel said she could have chosen Chris, and she expressed interest in him originally, even a friendship couple. I would have probably chosen Chris, but like maybe the producers made her do that just to have a storyline.
Yeah. Right? But you know what? I agree. I think she should have chosen Chris. And I want to know about the conversations that she's been having with him that we haven't seen, because that scene when Demi comes into the girls' change room, Chris and Kaz were having like an intimate one-on-one. I was like, what were they talking about? Like, I want to know. I've seen a couple times of them in the background just sitting around talking as well. So I'm like, is there something brewing here, or is it just a friendship thing?
It's probably a friendship thing.
Yeah.
Probably, right? Like, who are we kidding?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have minded her choosing him just because they're age-wise, they're a good match. I don't know if I see a romance there, but like I don't see it with Lewis anyways, so she might as well like shoot her shot. But he also needs to graft. Why do you think that the women got to choose instead of the men?
I feel like it would have been more, I think this was a production decision, and it was more chaotic for the women to choose, right? If the men had chosen, I think know who they would have chosen.
Right. Yeah. Hello, Mary. Thank you for being here. So Rachel says, I think Jess from season 10 called them turkey teeth. I've never heard of such a thing. It looks so bad. Yeah, so I thought turkey teeth was when they shave down your original teeth, they look like turkey legs. That's what I thought that it meant, but it actually means people going to get affordable veneers in Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like veneers should be the last choice. Do brackets first.
Mm-hmm.
Braces, like braces.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's. I think they like the white, and it looks rich. Like, I think that's what it is. Like in Vancouver, I remember when I was living there, a lot of people had like terrible plastic surgery, in my opinion, like the big cheek fillers and like the lips done. And I think it makes them look, or they think they look expensive or rich, or that they can afford plastic surgery. Right?
Unfortunately, I think there was a time where that look might have given you that aesthetic, or might have convinced people that like you had something interesting or rich or like luxurious about you. But because it is so pervasive now, I don't find that people who have that much work done that they look good or even look young. Because it makes everyone look like they're about 45, no matter how old you are.
Hey,
like if you're 20 something, no, but like whether you're 20 something and you get the work done, or you're like 60 something, they all look this like midline age. And so I think all these young girls are actually aging themselves by getting all this extra work done. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I told you the last time we chatted that like I had a friend that got it done when she's like 32, I think, just a little bit of filler and a little bit of lips. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my God, she looks great for 50.
Yeah, you know exactly, right? Like you don't look like a young, like 30 something anymore. It's like now you just look like you have that 50-year-old plastic surgery face.
100%. Sorry, here in Mexico we call it braces. Or brackets, but yeah, okay, braces, brackets, got it. But yeah, I mean, I think we call it braces brackets. Like when you put there are brackets on braces.
On braces, yeah. When I had braces, there were brackets.
Right, because the brackets is where you put the elastics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had brackets. Exactly. I loved putting the elastics on. Like the pain of it was so satisfying. Anyways, that's just me. Hi, Sonia. So Lewis got his done in some basement in Turkey. They're atrocious. Oh dear. Oh
exactly.
Dear.
That's what I said. Bargain basement. Like,
bargain basement.
I mean, if you're poor, just say that.
So then Liberty, she's like, I only had like, feelings with this one guy. We had some really good chats, but then like I kind of got some different feelings, with things that I've heard. And I'm like, but she still chooses Mitch. And I'm like, I know she doesn't really have anybody else to choose, but I just feel like it makes these women look kind of, I don't want to say pathetic, but
it does make them look kind of pathetic, right? Like, especially for Liberty, she knows about the kiss between Lewis and Demi because she was mid-conversation with Mitch when he was where they were talking about their feelings for each other. And then all of a sudden Demi comes out and he like jumped up mid-conversation. So it's obvious that he's more interested in what's going on with Demi than the conversation he's having with you. So I would be embarrassed to stand up there and recouple after someone just did me like that. Like, what do you mean?
Why didn't she choose Chris? Because Chris is also somebody that she said that she was interested in. And then when she sat down with Mitch, he's like, oh, I thought you were going to choose Chris. And she's like, oh, I almost did. Why didn't you?
You know what? Oh, I think that these girls are taking this girl code a little bit too far, because I think in their minds, both Kaz and Liberty, they're like, well, Molly has a thing with him, and if anyone is going to choose him, it should be Molly. So they like kind of left Molly to make that decision.
So leave the people that have the most option with like all the most choices.
Yeah.
Go for what you want, ladies, please.
Absolutely.
Like actually. Or try it anyways. Like I would have gone for Chris if I was Liberty. And like if her and Mitch are gonna make it, then he needs to work on it. You know what I mean? Like make him have to graft. Then next is Molly. She needs more one-on-one conversations with this person.
Okay, I just want to say, go home. like both of you. Like you didn't need to come here to be on my TV screen to rekindle your relationship. if you're going to keep if you're going to keep partnering with your ex-boyfriend, go home.
Yeah, please. I mean, or get together and then leave together.
Yeah, like, because I just felt, I don't know, I wasn't excited about this recoupling. I wanted her to choose someone else. It's
Who could
annoying
she have
now
chosen
seeing
though, Chris?
right. Exactly. Well, that's the thing, is at least
She
it
was
could have been a
crying
bit
over
more.
the kiss that they had.
Yeah, no, she was never gonna choose him. But
Anton?
Yeah. I guess that's the only option. But still, it's like Callum and her storyline is not interesting to me. I haven't seen
Because they're
Callum.
not interesting.
Exactly. I haven't seen Callum talk to a single other woman on this villa, which, I mean, it's not, there's no stakes. like I'm not feeling like they might not get back together. It's very obvious that he is interested in her and he's just waiting for her to get whatever she needs to get out of her system so they can have a conversation to get back together. And that's boring as a viewer.
Very, very boring. So Hannah says that this person has a heart of gold, and so she's gonna couple up with her friendship couple with Anton.
Okay.
Okay,
I feel
Hannah.
for them. I feel for them both, right? Like there's no one for Hannah, there's no one for Anton. Like as we're going through this recoupling, I'm realizing that so many of these couples are mismatched and there aren't better matches or better options for anyone.
Now, I'm trying to figure out with Anton as well, like why it's so hard for him to find a match.
I think
And same even with Liberty as well, right? Like I'm trying to figure out what it is about both of those people, and maybe even Toby. Like that is it because they don't know what they want, or they don't know what they like? I just don't understand why it's so challenging for them to understand when somebody is actually a match for them, or they're connecting in that way, or you know what I mean? Like I feel like they just don't get it.
I think for Liberty and Anton, they have a similar problem. Toby, I don't know what's wrong with him, but Liberty and Anton, I think that neither of them truly believe in their value, right? And so they're just looking for someone to like them, and they're not really confident in their choices. They're not coming to this connection with like a confident energy, which is why, they keep kind of repelling people. Right, because that person doesn't have anything to be attracted to. It's like they can see them morphing and changing and trying to just be what you want. It's like, no, that's not attractive, right? They want to. They need a little bit back. They need some energy. They need something a bit more serious, something to care about.
Yeah, nothing's more unattractive than somebody that's not confident in themselves. Right? Like it's different if you show insecurities when you're within a relationship, like some things that come out, but like what's attractive to people is like it's like seeing who their spark, like who they truly are, and like that they're willing to stand and be who they are. Like they're not like, I need to know more about Liberty actually. Like, what do you like to do,
other than the fact that you wear your heart on your sleeve? What else do you do?
I don't even know what she does, like as a profession. Like, is she an esthetician, or I don't know. What does she love to do? What is her hobbies? Like,
does she have a sense of humor? Like, what does she read? Like, do you listen to music? Like, I don't know anything about her personality other than she chases after men who don't want her.
Well, because she doesn't really want herself, right? Like, or like she hasn't developed herself yet.
Yeah.
Interesting. And then I think it's similar with Anton. Like, I don't know anything about Anton other than the fact that he feels like he tries really hard, and he tries really hard.
And that's the problem, right? Is that he's so focused on trying to change himself and trying to be what people need instead of just being himself. And so he's not attracting anyone.
Sonia's saying the exact same thing here. Tries to be what the girl wants instead of being himself. Liberty does the same thing. Tries to be what the girl wants instead of being herself. 100%. And that, I wonder if they're ever going to learn that lesson.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope they do, because
in the villa. I mean, in the I think in their lifetime they will.
This summer, I hope so. I hope we see that. Or what is it? Summer? It's winter.
So Mary's saying it took Anton 6 weeks to find Bella. Are we doing this again?
And the thing is I think that he found Bella because Bella is such a confident and self-assured woman, and she really did all the work, right? Like she sought him out, like she was the one that was pursuing him. He didn't really, and by that point, I think he was so defeated that he accepted anything, any kind of attention.
Right. Oh, that's kind of sad.
Mm-hmm.
They need to listen to self-concept TikToks. Like it'd be like, I am awesome, I'm amazing, my
exactly. Do the affirmations.
Yes.
I'm healthy, I am wealthy, I am rich, I am that bitch every day. Come on.
Yes. They need some self-worth affirmations, 100%. Well, hopefully they get that. You know what? They should have some sort of like love coach on this damn show.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think they would, this show specifically would benefit from it.
100%. Sonia thinks though that Toby has delusion of grandeur. I think Toby is afraid to show him who he truly is. And so like I think that him thinking that, oh, like I'm not gonna really settle down and settle in is a way for him to put up like, so he doesn't have to get vulnerable, actually.
Yeah.
And so I think he's afraid to be getting vulnerable.
I mean, I would agree, because even in the conversation that he had with Molly, right? It's like he wasn't really saying like, hey, I'm interested in you. It was like, I'm just trying to see where your head's at. Like, are you into this? Like, right? He was really kind of putting it on her without really exposing himself, or without even saying like, yeah, I just want to talk to you because I want to see what this could be. Like he never actually said that.
At all. He so doesn't say anything ever. And then lastly, we have Demi choosing Chris. The boy I probably would have chosen to couple up with was already taken.
Okay, well that annoyed me because I'm like, bitch, you're already on strike one because you were making out with Lewis and then you came and sat next to Kaz and did not say anything to her. Now you want to be petty at the matchup ceremony? Shut up. Get out of my face.
I mean, I know a lot of people are really liking Demi so far this season. I'm not.
I was, but I didn't like how she was moving in this moment.
What I feel with Demi is that she's getting the first taste of being the it girl.
Yeah.
And it's just not where she sits naturally.
Mm-hmm.
And so
I can understand her being like anxious and like unsure about how to have the conversation. But by this point, it's like you could have had the conversation. And if you actually cared about her feelings, like you didn't need to do that at the matchup ceremony.
Absolutely not. Now, who said, can we chat? And then they said chats are free.
Oh.
I didn't write it down.
I
think it's actually... Well, anyways, the next thing that I wrote down is what's Mitch chatting shit about? It's pissing me off.
Oh, right. Sorry, it was... You're right. It was Liberty coming to sit down with Lewis and Kaz.
Oh, Lewis and Kaz. Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Lewis is rude.
Yeah.
He's rude. And like the fact that he's like, now he's so mad at Mitch. Mitch didn't do anything wrong. I know that we want to say messy Mitch. Like, yes, maybe it's messy the fact that he called it out. But like Toby just called out Chris kissing Molly, and nobody was like saying messy Toby.
Exactly. The only reason that Lewis is upset is because he was beaten to the punch. He wasn't able to have that conversation with Kaz before she heard it from somewhere else. And like she heard it.
She should have had the conversation with Kaz before the kiss. Like exactly. He had many opportunities to be like, listen, Kaz, I'm into Demi. I'm not into you.
Especially when she was asking him to go to the terrace and then you went with someone else. Like that would have been a perfect opportunity to be like, I like you, but I'm feeling something more towards Demi and I kind of want to see where that goes.
Well, and then he does say to her that like he kissed Demi on the terrace. So like if he's doing the pursuing in the kissing, then he knew that he wanted to do that, and he could have said something to Kaz before the kiss. So him blaming Mitch for spilling the beans too soon, he had time.
Yeah,
he had tons of time. Now Sonia is saying that Demi is a mean girl pretending to be nice. Do you agree with this?
I'm not sure if I 100% agree with it. I think that to your point, I think that she doesn't know how to deal with this new it girl kind of fame, right? She's used to being kind of the like, friend of everybody.
Or like the Liberty vibe.
Exactly. And now that she's the center of attention, I don't think she knows how to handle it.
Yeah, and like, not that I don't want her to be the it girl or whatnot, but Lewis is not it. And so I think he's just gonna be playing with her, and I think she's gonna get hurt.
Fighting over a deadbeat dad on national television. Could be me.
It wouldn't. I mean, I would be in the upper hand if I were in that situation. I think, you know what I mean. Like, I would know what I'm getting myself into, and like I wouldn't be. He's no prize.
He's no Johnny Middlebrooks, that's for sure.
I mean, Johnny does. I don't know if he's deadbeat, but like he does have a child on the way, right?
Yeah,
has that happened yet?
I don't know. TikTok has not showed me anything about that baby yet.
Right. Whose head was scrambled though? Was it Lewis's? Why is his head scrambled?
I can't remember. No.
Anyways. I think it's instead of scrambled, like having to have a conversation with Kaz or like with Demi or like, I don't know, but whatever. So then Lewis decides to stand up and get into an argument with Mitch. So they're like, shut up, you prick. Like, what? What's that?
I mean, he's protesting too much, obviously. It's like, you're triggered. Like, you're not actually mad at Mitch. You're upset that Mitch, called you out and he exposed you.
Exactly. But like you weren't that like subtle. Like you weren't that smooth.
Because even Kaz said it. It was like, it had nothing to do with Mitch telling her. She was aware of it because she was in the dressing room. She saw Demi come in to fix her makeup and then saw you walk past. Like, she told Lewis what she saw, so she already had an inkling. It had nothing to do with whether or not Mitch confirmed it.
Right. And like, well, then if you didn't want Mitch to know, why would you say yes to Mitch? Being like, it's none of your business.
Exactly. And of course he's going to tell Liberty.
It's his couple.
Yeah.
And her best friend who's talking to you. He needs to go. So then Lewis is complaining about Mitch with Hannah. And I'm like, I don't want Hannah to be on the wrong side of like I like Hannah. Yeah. I don't want her to be team Lewis just because they're on season 1 together, because I think Lewis is in the wrong. And like, I don't want Hannah to be like, all like, oh yeah, Mitch did something wrong here when he actually didn't.
No, but I don't think that Hannah is on his side so much as that Hannah has been relegated to like the agony aunt position in the villa, right? She's older. She doesn't really have a connection with anybody. And we keep seeing these moments of people going to her for advice and get her counsel. So I think that's unfortunately just what she's become in the villa.
It would be awesome if she was like actually a relationship coach. So Chris, Toby, and Mitch are talking about how Lewis was being super rude and like and for the fact that he was being defensive, for the fact that they're calling out the truth. Right?
Exactly.
Like it would be messy if Mitch was doing this and it didn't actually happen.
Exactly.
But it did. You confirmed it. She told her friend. He told her his couple.
Or if he had I mean, I guess he does kind of have a stake in it a little bit, right? Like because he's interested in Demi. Yeah. But I mean, I don't think that he was being intentionally messy in this situation. I think he just wanted to know more than anything else.
So they decided that he kicked off like a dickhead, but then I think it was Chris that said, "But don't say that to him, though."
No, exactly.
I wanted to say to him, like, you kicked off like a dickhead.
I mean, Chris was very smart because he's like, in that moment, if anyone had said to Lewis, "You kicked off like a dickhead," he was 100% going to kick off even worse.
And then Lewis is like, "Oh, like, you apologize for hurting Kaz's feelings," and it's like it's not hurting Kaz's feelings. It's actually just not being upfront with Kaz and leading her on. Yeah. Right? Like, you just let her on.
Exactly.
And that in turn hurt her feelings. So I wish he had said, "I'm sorry that I led you on."
Yeah.
And that hurt your feelings.
Because it was obvious to all of us that he was not interested in her. Like, every single one of those conversations, I could tell he was just humoring her.
So Liberty and Mitch are chatting, and I need Liberty to stop saying that, you know, she needs to know, she knows her worth and she's not, I'm just like, you just always show them how insecure you are about like what you're, and like, I don't want to go all in on you because like, I'm not sure where your head's at, but like, there's something here, but like, I know my worth. And I'm like,
like, do you? Because like, if you have to keep saying it, like maybe, like, are you trying to convince yourself?
I guess he kind of said the right thing, being like, well, I'm going to prove to you that I'm kiss worthy.
Good.
Okay.
And that was absolutely the right thing to say in that moment, right? Because that's what she needed from him, is that like she wants to see that he's putting in the same energy or just energy towards their connection, and he's serious about it.
And like, I could probably take Liberty what she's saying better if she was like, listen, like it's the how she says it. She says it in kind of like a begging kind of way, as opposed to like a matter of fact kind of way. I mean, like, listen, like I already gave you a chance. I already thought we were talking and something good was going on between us, but then you tried to fuck around. Like, I'm gonna give you another chance here, but like you're gonna have to grow up because like I'm really not into it at this point. But you're the only person I have a little bit of a connection with. Yeah. Like, she needs to be like more dismissive.
She says it like, I'm saying it, but I don't want to say it too harshly because I don't want you to be mad at me.
Exactly. Or you to like not like me anymore. Or like not want to try. No.
Exactly. In which case, do you really know your worth? Because if you did, then you could be able to stand on business and say, this is what I think. And if you can't handle that, then you've got to go.
Exactly. Like, it's not an ultimatum. It's just like stating your boundaries clearly and being willing to lose what it is, like whatever it is, in order for you to set up for yourself. And so she doesn't give that like, or else, which is, I guess, kind of an ultimatum, but like, she doesn't stand on business, like you said. She doesn't do that. Damn. I feel Marcel for Liberty, maybe.
Oh my God, I forgot about Marcel.
Does Liberty like black guys, you think?
Oh yeah, I think so.
I mean, I've never seen her get like recouple or anything, or like kiss or anything, I don't think.
That's true. I haven't seen it, but I feel like she would.
Well, Marcel, when he was with Gabby, they were so cute together.
Yeah, they were. Is he still in a boy band, or did he just talk about that a lot?
He talked about that a lot. They were thinking of a reunion tour, I think.
Are they? Okay.
No, I mean, at the time. Wasn't it?
Okay.
I think so. I think they were just like, yeah, we want to get the band back together. I don't know if it ever happened. I don't know.
Wow. I forgot about Marcel.
Okay, so married thinking Marcel for Liberty. Okay. Cass is the first black girl that Lewis has kissed.
Ooh.
It's giving whitey. If you're black, nothing for if you black, nothing for you. But if you white, something for you.
Whitey.
It sucks though that this is true though, Sonia. Oh, Marcel is engaged with a child. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well,
not for Liberty.
No, yeah, not for Liberty.
Not for Liberty at all.
We need, you know what we need? We need like a visual map of the Love Island universe, like who is single, like so we can picture like who could potentially be coming in.
Are you offering to do this?
You know, I will conscript someone to do this.
I can start piecing it together. Like we can do like an update on like Love Island, you know, after the season's done.
I'm gonna be like that meme, just like pointing to my wall with all the strings, and be like, and you see here.
Yeah, you need a whiteboard.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's perfect. Okay, the next scene infuriated me. So do you know what happened? Can you think about what just annoyed me to all end?
Wait, the next scene after, where are we? When is this after Mitch and Lewis fight? Remind me.
This.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Yeah.
When she runs up to hug.
No, like, I didn't like that.
It's not that serious. Go to Lewis. It's fine. And I actually liked how Cass was like, you had time. It's fine. I said
she did.
Lewis, you can do whatever you want.
You came and sat next to me, and you could have said something then when you were sitting next to me, just completely quiet and said
deafening silence. Yeah. and they're both. It's so awkward because Kaz already had an idea.
Yeah.
And Demi obviously knew.
Yeah.
And she wants to be friends with these two. And she said nothing. And then there was the recoupling. And there wasn't time. There's not time. And it's not my character.
You're like, yeah, it's not my character is a really convenient excuse when you do something that proves that it is your character.
You did it.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it's not like my usual character, but you did it.
But you did it.
Exactly. And I think it's because she's in this main character energy, so she's not usually in this kind of position. But I was not happening, and she's like, "I'm letting you guys do your thing. You don't need to apologize. Like, do your thing. Are you gonna be upset? Like, I said you guys could do your thing. Like, do whatever you want to do."
That would annoy me as well, because don't make it seem like I'm the one throwing a tantrum, or I'm the one, like, you can't do what you want because I'm going to be upset. Because firstly, you're going to do what you want anyway. But like, clearly, you just don't want to feel bad. And sorry, maybe you should feel bad. I have feelings and they were hurt.
Like, I don't even think it was that serious, but it's the fact that they're making it such a big deal, right? Like this whole big fight with Mitch saying that they kissed, and then like, she had an ample opportunity to say something. And then now she chose Lewis because she didn't have all the facts and information. And now you guys are all like, are you upset that we're still might still talk? And it's like,
yeah, no, because of course she is. But it doesn't mean that like she's going to interfere or she's going to be mad at you. Of course, if someone she was talking to and was interested in hooks up with someone else and is pursuing that, of course you're going to be upset. But like, what did they want her to say? Be like, oh no, it's fine. Everything's fine. We're all best friends. She's like, not yet. Like, I need time to process the feelings.
Exactly. Greg from season 5 is set to be a bombshell.
Greg of Greg and Amber's fame? Yeah. Last minute winner.
I actually didn't mind Greg, but it could have been just for the timing and that he was interested in Amber and helped her win the show. So maybe that's why I liked him.
I feel like I want to see more of him because you're right. He came in super late and we obviously were just riding for Amber. So we wanted anything for her. And he seemed to be like nice enough. But I actually don't know that we got a real sense of his personality and what he is really like. So I would like him to come in earlier rather than later so we can see him and like get to know like who is Greg O'Shea?
Oh, you know his last name. You remember his last name? I remember thinking he was handsome.
Mm-hmm.
But he was short though, right?
Yeah. I mean, I just love an Irishman.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
my favorite uncle was Irish.
Okay. I'm like, well, my dad's from England, so I'm always gonna favor England, right? I don't like the Irish accent.
I just feel like the Irish are so punk, you know?
Oh.
Right?
You know, I've not visited Ireland, so I don't actually know yet.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I do like it. Hi, Miss T-Joy. Thanks for being here. So then Lewis pulls Mitch for a chat with his like arm around him. How phony was that?
No, especially after you just screamed to my face, don't touch me.
Exactly, like trying to be all buddy, like, oh man, like I don't want it to be like that between us. Like
it's like, but you made it like that.
Sorry, Miss T-Joy is reminding us of something. Liberty like Johnny on Love Island Games. Liberty, oh, she needs a mentor.
She needs an intervention.
Mary thinks Greg was good looking, or it was boring but good looking. Okay, I don't mind him coming back.
Yeah, I just want to know. I just want to see more because I don't feel like we ever got to know who he was.
So Rachel thinks that Greg has a girlfriend.
Oh, boring.
So are these
all? You never know. That hasn't stopped anybody from coming onto the show.
Maybe the girlfriend is coming up next. So you know what I mean? Like they're both coming on the show, being like, "We didn't break up. He left me to come on this show, but we're still together." Oh, Mary loves a short man. Okay. You love what you love. So Lewis and Demi are having a conversation, and like they do not have a vibe even.
No.
Sorry, no. Demi's gonna get hurt here, I think.
Yeah, no, she is. She absolutely is. But oh well.
So then we see like in the dressing room, Demi complaining about not actually having time to Molly when like she knows she had time.
Mm-hmm.
Like we see not all, but we see a lot more Demi, and like we saw that you had time.
Yeah.
And you saying to Molly that you didn't have time doesn't make that true.
I mean, and also the fact that you would feel the need to keep talking about it, like clearly you're
guilty.
unsettled about it in your own soul, and you're trying to like justify your behavior.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
So it is bedtime, and we see Liberty and Mitch kissing. I'm like, oh, Liberty. Like, it's fine, whatever, you're young,
Of course
do whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just like, she just wants to be liked too much, and it just allows them to not that he doesn't have respect for her, but like actually I think that's what it is. Like, he's not going to respect her completely because she gives in kind of easily in this situation here.
Yeah.
You know? I guess she wants to kiss him. Okay, I get it.
Right. But that's the thing, is like she's like leading with her emotion, and she just wants to feel some kind of affection and have a kiss and have a snuggle at any cost, right? And that's the problem.
And I think what will end up happening is that she's going to end up developing more feelings, right? Having this intimacy, and guys don't have that same connection. Like, that kissing and making out and cuddling does not mean that the guy is going to feel the same way about you that you feel about them.
Yeah.
They just have different ways of connecting people intimately. You know what I mean? They can turn that off. It's weird. I get it. It's fucking weird. But like, it doesn't mean that he likes you more, you know? Sucks. Fingers crossed, though, she doesn't get hurt again, which she will. So in the morning, we hear Demi being like, I don't want it to be awkward. No, sorry. Was it Lewis and said to Cass?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want it to be awkward. Yeah, when they're still in the beds. And I'm just like.
Also, her pajama set was another cute one.
Yeah, she's like, I'm coming in with the cute pajama looks. And then Lewis apologizes to Josh because, like, you know, there was drama on his first night, and he's like, I wish there was more drama.
I know. He's like, this is what I live for. He's like, do you know who I am? I'm Josh Ritchie. I'm the drama king.
Yeah, he wants more drama. He's like, he thought it was kind of boring.
Because compared to his season, the first season with the smoking section and all the relationship
Jonathan
drama,
was so over the top.
Yeah, they were fighting for no reason. I mean, it was great.
Yeah, Love Island was so wild back then.
Yeah,
like
these kids don't know.
The season that I started on, and that season also was wild. And then going back and watching 1 and 2, like season 2 was also wild. That's
season 2 was my favorite season.
I mean, I love Cara and Nathan.
Yeah, and Alex and Olivia.
Alex and I was like, I followed up on them after that season hard.
I still follow them on Instagram. Every time they post anything, I'm like, yes.
Like, I feel like they don't post as much as they used to, though. They used to be all the time. But like now they're just super rich and they have their little family and like they're so gorgeous. Oh my! And Mullen and Teddy. Oh my god! And like that young girl.
I know. I love that for them.
Yeah, this season was so good. And like I love Love Island, but like they just are not hitting it like they were back then. Like what do you think the difference is? Censorship?
I think because people have such an awareness of like the way that it can impact their social media following and fame and all the brand deals, is that people are being less authentic. But like that authenticity is what made us care about those characters and also made us more invested in the seasons. So I think people are really, you know, playing up to the camera now, curating themselves, and they're being a bit more restrained, which is why we're not getting that same kind of energy and why we're not as invested.
Yeah, it's 100% what it is. And it's my complaint all the time about every single TV show that I love is like they start casting Instagram models, or like on some certain, maybe not here, but like on other shows, and like they're only there for the gram, for the you know, for the brand deals after the show. And so like they're not authentic because they're putting on some sort of like an actual veneer.
Absolutely.
And you don't sit to see their content themselves, so we're not actually connecting with people. And yeah, that's what's making it not work, in my opinion. Yeah, you're right. Social media, as much as I enjoy it, it's so boring. Like, it creates boring people.
No, absolutely, right? Because people are so concerned of how the public perception, how they're going to be received, how their behavior is going to be commented on. Yeah.
Rachel says, I think the difference is influencer culture and crazy stands. People are so nasty whenever someone makes a misstep. True.
That's true.
True. And that people are so concerned about watching these things, you know, or like reading up on them or reading the comments of people, you know, and like the more fame that they get, the more of those negative comments that they get. And that, yeah, you want to avoid those negative comments. But I remember once I was listening to an article or sorry, an interview with, I think it was Angelina Jolie, and she was talking about how like she has like billions of haters. She also has billions of people that love her, so she can't listen to either.
Yeah, that's true, right? But what's that phrase? If you don't have haters, you ain't popping.
Yeah.
It's true, because if you don't, it's like, because people hate on things that they're jealous of, but also people hate just to hate. But like, if you ain't have haters, you ain't popping. So I will take the good with the bad.
Yes. So Liberty tells the girls about her kissing Mitch in bed, and I'm just.
It was exactly like that scene on her season when she was telling all the girls that her and Jake were like official, and everyone's face is like. And they're like, really? Really?
So with the boys chat, so Lewis is talking to Toby. Well, there's two sets of boys chats. So Lewis is talking to Toby, Josh, and Callum, and talking about Mitch is just Mitch being Mitch. And I'm like, I thought you already squashed that Mitch wasn't being messy, like, and that you guys are good. And like, was that just all a lie?
I don't know. I mean, maybe production was like, talk about it again. Because I felt like it was over already.
Exactly. But then Lewis now wants to speak to Debbie. What about you guys, like, want to pursue each other? Like, why do you need to announce that you want to speak to Debbie? Like, you guys are so attracted to each other that, like, you had a whole big pop-off moment where, like, all this drama is happening. So, like, we expect you to speak to Debbie.
Yeah, just go forward and do this. Like, Kaz already knows. You already said you didn't want it to be awkward in bed. Like, there's nothing holding you back. Like, you've done all the due diligence.
Okay, do you agree or disagree here with Mary? Mary personally thinks that Jake is better looking than Mitch, but I prefer short guys.
You know what? I'm actually more physically attracted to Mitch than Jake.
Oh,
Mitch, okay. I mean, physically, the second he opens his mouth, I'm running for the hills. But I actually do like his dress sense. I don't know, there's something that kind of like casual cheekiness about him. If I saw him from afar in the club and I did not know a single thing about him, he might get a pass. Over Jake.
Over Jake. I think so, because I don't really like that kind of like puffy buff look. Like at all. It's just like, if anything's too tight, like in muscles, like I just like, it's not my vibe. Yeah. So I guess I would agree that I would be more interested in Mitch, but then also just not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm maybe Lewis aesthetically if he's not smiling or talking.
If he never opens his mouth. Yeah. If Lewis never opened his mouth, then for sure.
Even Toby, I'm just like,
no, I don't know what's going on with his square head. I can't. I think it's his haircut. If his haircut was a different shape, I think we would have a different conversation. It would be Toby all day. But there's something about the way that he shapes his head. It's like a little tiny bulbous fro, but like just a little, I don't know, a little too wide for me. Because I remember on games, Johnny gave him a haircut once and it looked so much better. And I was like, yeah, just keep doing whatever Johnny did for you.
Oh my God. Sonia's calling out how Chris has fallen in the ranks of the girls.
He fucked up. He went too hard for Molly, and then everyone else lost interest. And now, if he has to crawl back to any of them, they're all going to feel second best. He was doing so well.
He should have just gone for, in my opinion, Georgia H. I think they would have been actually the best combo.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it would have been screwed up with Josh coming into the picture, but I do think that she can handle his banter and his goofiness. Astrologically, I believe that they make sense as well. I just think it would, and age-wise, they also make sense. Yeah. And so I wish that they had just given it a shot, but I think they missed that window. Come on, Toby is cute. He's not an unattractive person.
Exactly.
I'm just thinking, like, if I went to a club and I was around his vibe, I wouldn't be like, ooh, like, who's he? Not like how Jordan's
because
like,
if I was at the club and he was with Tyreek, I'd be like, hello, Tyreek, how can I?
Yes, hello, Tyreek.
But you see what I mean, though? It's like, it's less about the aesthetic and more about the energy. Like, Tyreek has this kind of like laid back sexiness. Like, Toby's a bit too puppy.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, a Tyreek, I'm like, good blush. I'm like Tyreek. I'd be like, if he's looked at me, I'd be like, oh my god. Like,
you're like, stop, babe.
Like, eye contact. Like, oh my god. Like,
okay, look, you can't even stop giggling just thinking about it.
Toby like doesn't got that.
No, yeah, Toby does not. He's not lighting any fires for me.
No, sorry, Toby. You're cute, but like, it's too juvenile for me. Like, or like, yeah, soft. In the other boys chat, so that's Mitch, Chris, and Anton. Anton is like, he's cracking on. I'm like, we know Anton. Like, you're not making that decision here. It was made for you.
Yeah.
Like,
I respect him for staying optimistic and like trying to fake like he has some kind of agency in the situation. Good for you. Good for you, Anton.
Okay, Mary thinks that Toby needs a few years to cook for sure.
Exactly. Toby, come talk to me in about 10 years. When he's 34, we'll have a conversation.
But what if he's like, he still doesn't get it?
Okay, well then the conversation will be very short.
So the girls are talking, and she wants Lewis to pull her. Yeah, and so Debbie wants Lewis to pull her. Like, Lewis is a waste man. And like the fact that Debbie is involved in this waste man tings, she's gonna get it. She's gonna get her heart broken.
Yeah,
or is embarrassed. And like I can see her yelling at Lewis, and then Lewis being kind of nasty. He's rude when he's mad.
He's already been so rude.
So Georgia H is gonna be focusing on Josh and not Anton. We knew that was coming.
Surprise.
She was just like, ooh, phew. I wasn't gonna have to invest in like someone that I wasn't initially gravitating towards.
Yeah, she's like, she was giving him a chance because it was the best of a bad bunch. But now that she has a real option, she's like, oh no, I'm not doing that anymore.
Mitch does tell them that they shared a kiss, him and Liberty. And that is what it is.
I was interested to see that the guys were surprised. They're like, oh, it's like progressing, because I think that even they could see that he was not as interested in her. So I think they were really surprised to see that he took it there so quickly.
I also, though, don't see Mitch with Demi. How much of a mismatch is that as well, in my opinion, anyways?
Yeah, I don't really see it either. I mean, they do have their little flirty thing, but he has that little cheeky flirty thing with everyone. But I just don't really see chemistry.
Question, is Molly and Zach still dating? Or they did break up right away? I can't remember what happened.
Oh no, yeah, they're still dating. I saw a post on Instagram recently of the two of them. He on vacation or something. They're still together.
Wow.
I know. She's still doing her like embarrassing musical theater girl TikToks, and he's just like roadman in the back, like pop pop.
No. He's not in her TikToks.
Yes, he is.
No way.
Look it up.
No, absolutely no way.
Yes, I've seen TikToks with him in them.
No way.
Yes.
This is not possible.
Honestly, it's the most mismatched couple, but like, I love it. I'm glad that they're making it work. I never saw it for either of them, but here they are. You know?
What's her? She's Molly May on TikTok?
Molly Grace Marsh, I think.
Oh, you know, like you're full. Molly Grace Marsh.
I know her government name.
Okay, no, it must be just Molly Marsh now. I don't. Wait, I don't pinned ones, right? I don't know if I see him in any of these yet.
Well, I'm gonna find you the ones that I saw with him in them, so I will send them to you.
I don't see him.
I mean, their whole relationship is so like, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like the movie She's All That, you know, like from two worlds, the musical theater hall and the bad boys smoking outside. For some reason, they end up in detention together, and the rest is history.
Whoa. Okay, I might have found one. Hold on. Hold on.
Okay, I'm here with these two and doing a little put your finger down Christmas
Oh
edition.
no.
Put a finger down if you've ever cooked a Christmas dinner. You have?
Yeah, you can't cook right now.
Put a finger down if you've ever bought a last-minute gift on Christmas Eve. Guys, come on. Put a finger down if you've ever kissed under mistletoe. Put a finger down if your ex has ever turned up on Christmas Day with a gift for you. Thank goodness for that. Seriously. Well, that leads me nicely onto the launch of Xmas on Amazon Freevee. We have a tradition where we all...
Hashtag ad.
he also like just looks bored.
No, I mean, get your coins. Good for you. That obviously that was a sponsored post courtesy of Amazon.
So Rachel says they get like 3 of the season 10 couples are just together. So them,
and then Tyreek and Ella, and then Whitney and Locken.
I Whitney and Locken. I love them together. Yes, locked in. I love that they're still together.
Mm-hmm.
Like be together for 1 year. That's just like makes me feel good.
You're like, and that means that I got my money's worth.
Well, that means that like I was right, you know, like. And I'm happy that Tyreek is still being with Ella. Hopefully he's being a good boy, but I'm happy that he opened up and allowed her to be in a relationship with her and out in the front. So with that. So,
I think I saw her post something about it on TikTok that she's looking for like they're looking for a place together in London.
Wow. Okay.
Not the eyes.
Ooh, yeah. You can see the eyes that I was doing. Oh yes. That's great. Okay. I'm happy about that.
She says having absolutely no faith in them.
None of them won the show, right?
No.
All right.
Yeah.
Who won the show again?
I believe it was Jess and Sammy who broke up about a month after. Yeah.
Jess and Sammy. Right, because Sam was so into Jess. Mm-hmm. Oh no, Liz says thank you for watching us. She stopped after the 3rd episode. It's getting better.
It is. Better. Especially after Toby's messiness this episode.
Yeah, it's getting better. So if you want to watch, like it's good times. It's good, and I think it's going to get even better. Because I think the OGs the bombshells that they're going to bring in are actually going to be like, okay, this is a boring show. Let's do something here.
Yeah. And we've started to see it already with Josh, and I'm glad that he's like looking around like, this is the 2nd time we're here. What is happening?
Exactly. We're just like you, Mary. We're happy that Jess and Sammy are not together. But I really wish that one of the couples that were still together won the show.
Yeah. Should have been Whitney and Locken, but I digress.
I agree 1,000,000%. Where am I here? So Callum is open if somebody else comes into the villa.
Okay, stop lying. Stop lying. Like, you haven't spoken to a single person here. Who are you kidding?
It would have to be somebody new, but like he also does not have a personality that he doesn't have the Tyreek charm. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
who's
no,
coming in for Callum?
Yeah. Well, but I have
What if they brought in Shauna?
Oh my God. If they brought in Shauna, no, but Shauna just had a baby, I think, didn't she?
Oh,
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. After she got that liposuction for her ankles. No, she had a real condition. No, she posts about it. It's called lipedema. I learned a lot because I was like, do I have lipedema? Because I also have cankles. But she's healed now and she looks a lot better. So
wow. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a condition. Okay.
It is.
I thought it was a read. I thought it was a read. Okay.
No, she had a condition. She has gotten the lipo to heal herself. Now she has normal size ankles and a baby.
Okay. Does she have a baby daddy in the picture or
that? I don't know.
Just curious. Okay. Whatever.
I was just focused on the ankles.
So Hannah's just basically saying that she's here on a holiday, like there's nobody in here that she's interested in, which sucks. They're all getting ready for the nighttime. Georgia's saying that she doesn't really trust her judgment. And so they're all saying like Toby's a good one. Toby's a good one. I'm like, you're really saying that Toby's a good one? Kaz knows the truth.
I mean, that's how you know that none of these girls are really friends.
Yeah.
Because if I was sitting there with my girlfriend and she said, "Oh, I'm so happy with Toby," blah blah blah, like, and not one of them said to me, like, "You're tripping." Like those girls are not your friends.
But then we go cut to Toby saying that he's still open. I'm just like, oh gosh, Toby, you're so annoying.
But the thing is he's telling all of the guys, but he hasn't had that conversation with Georgia. And he's also not acting like he's open. And I know we're going to get to their conversation, but like that is her problem and also my problem. Because sure, you can be open, but why are you behaving as if we're closed and then you're blindsiding me out of nowhere without us having a conversation about it?
Yeah, it's like within these kind of relationships, before you make it official, there's still like officiality in like the vibe of what like you guys are creating together. Mm-hmm. So she's feeling like with the steps that you're taking and how you're interacting, that you're moving towards being close, even though it hasn't been explicitly stated as of late. It's how she's feeling because you're acting closed.
And exactly. It's like he spends all of his time with her. They're cuddling in bed, like when he's not talking to anyone else yet. If you want to tell, if you wanted to say that you're open, how come you haven't had any conversations with anyone else, haven't pulled anyone else for a chat until what, the end of the first week?
Exactly. And then you two, we'll get to him. So he's really got wound me up this episode. Anton then goes to pull Georgia, and that was the cringiest moment I have seen in a while. She's sitting on the lounge chair, and she's about to go, like she's tanning, and he comes around behind her and grabs her from behind and like nuzzles in her neck, and she got the ick, like recoiled. She's just like, I'm sunbathing. Like she was so.
I've never seen anyone run like so fast.
And then like she's like said no, but then she's like, oh shit, like that was kind of rude and like not nice. It's like, okay, like just for a sec, like, and then to make it friend zone, she jumps on his back for her to give him a piggyback over, so it wasn't like I'm going to or a chat with you. Like,
but I don't think that he got that though. I think that he was like, "Oh, we're having a sexy, intimate moment. She's climbing on my back." Like, I feel like he's so tone deaf and like just he's not dialed into her at all. That like I think that he misinterpreted that, because then they're sitting on the couch or wherever having their conversation, and you can tell he still thinks that this is a possibility.
And with the distance between them,
yeah. Well, but the way that he was talking about it, like you could tell that he was trying to like be confident and think that, oh yeah, like you're pursuing Josh, but like you and I are still a thing too. I was like, really?
She's like, well, we've have history, and so I'm going to kind of pursue that.
From that conversation, I didn't get the sense that Anton thought that he was down and out. I really got the sense that he thought that she was like, oh yeah, you know, there's this other guy here who I've got some history with, but also I'm still talking to you. Like, I really felt like he left that conversation thinking that they were still talking.
Okay, I'm gonna have to watch that back because, like, I guess because I could see how much that is not the case.
Yeah.
That I can't fathom him not picking up what she was putting down.
Because I was looking at his face and he did not look like upset. He didn't look like crestfallen. He really was just like chilling, like, yeah, sure, you got a history with that guy, but like we're still talking, we're still doing our thing. Like he did not pick up on the social cues at all.
Oh gosh. So Josh is watching Georgia and Anton, and he's interested in Georgia. He's not threatened at all. Like his face was just like and then he also has interest in getting to know Molly. And so he's telling this to Molly actually, and saying that Molly's like, "Oh, I made the cut. I made the cut." She's so boring.
Yeah.
Her flirting is boring.
Yeah.
Like she really is just like a cute body and a cute face. Boring.
Yeah, her chat is dead, which is why she's so confused by Chris, because she doesn't know how to communicate with someone who has a personality.
So Chris and Toby are talking about this, and Chris says that she has no chat riz. I was like, chat riz? Yes, she has 0 chat riz.
She does. It's a 0 completely.
And I love that he clocked that, but he's still like interested in her. But I'm like, but she has no chat
because
riz.
Men are so superficial. He's like, she basically is like an empty vessel, but a hot one.
Liz wants to take a free cast from this jail. We know.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
They better be giving her a high appearance fee for this embarrassment and lack of possible partners. Maybe. How much do you think she got paid?
I don't know. I'm hoping that there's like a Boohoo deal or like a PLT deal waiting for her.
And like 50 grand, 50 pounds?
Oh no, I don't think they're paying her that much. I feel like if anything, maybe she's getting like £1,000 a week.
That's normal though, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they don't get paid that much for these shows.
I guess if the prize is only 50,000 pounds, like
exactly.
Split between 2.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Azza. So Azza says he wanted Georgia to close it off. Do you think so? Do you think that Toby wanted Georgia to close it off, and so that he could say that, like, oh, I don't want to be closed?
I don't think he did. I think that he wanted to talk to Molly, and he didn't want her to have a problem with it, but he approached her as if she was already going to have a problem with it.
Okay.
And that's why she was like, what do I say?
Before that, so Chris was saying it's hard for being open to love, and like he's like, and I'm like, but you said to be open to love with the right person. Like Molly had things going on. You took her directly out of a argument she's having with her long-term ex-boyfriend to go kiss her on the terrace, and then you said you have no lips. All problems written all over this, Chris. You chose the wrong person.
Yeah.
Wrong person.
I mean, a 4-year relationship. I like thinking back, what was his indication that she was interested in him?
I don't know. Because they stared in each other's eyes for 2 minutes.
But before that, right? Because he had to have seen, oh, well, you know what? Actually, no. The massages, that is a clear indication, because she took her top off. She was like, straps off, letting him massage her like that.
And they did the 3-way kiss.
So, you know what? I can understand why he was getting some clues from her and thought that this was something that he could actually pursue, and why he took her up to the terrace to do that 2-minute look in the eye thing. Like, I get it now from his perspective, but like, yeah, I can see why he's confused, because it really did switch that quickly.
Sonny here is saying that each Islander gets £2,000 per week. There's no grand prize. Okay. I mean, if they're there the whole time, that's not a bad chunk of change.
Yeah, $10K.
And they probably are going to be more like Canada and not have like crazy taxes on prize money. I would assume, anyways.
I think so. I'm not sure how the prize taxing works in the UK.
So then Molly and Toby are chatting, and he's not settling. And if I were settled, would I be in a relationship? Like Toby, it has no chat riz either. So it's like chat riz free and chat riz free talking together. Both of them, like, I don't even know how Molly was in a relationship with Callum for so long, because like they're both just good-looking people that don't know how to be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, of course.
I feel like he was really throwing Georgia under the bus in that conversation, because I feel like there was a way that he could have come to Molly and say, I'm interested in chatting to you and I want to get to know you, without making it seem like, oh, I'm so unhappy with Georgia. Because, like, to your point, yeah, okay, you could have been in a relationship already, but like you didn't need to bring her into that. And even when Molly brought up the fact that her and Georgia were close and that I know that she has a different perception, he could have said, you know, well, maybe that's something I need to talk to her about. Like, he made it seem like she was nothing when it's very obvious to everyone, including Molly, that we are seeing something different from you.
Well, and then he's like, well, do you want to talk to me or not? Like, what?
So not anymore. Don't fucking why are you yelling at me? This is not how you get me to show.
And it's also like, you have something going on with Georgia.
Yeah.
And whether or not you want to acknowledge what something's going on, because you decided that being open means that you can't be developing a connection with somebody that might eventually be close. Like, what happens? Like, you're open. And then when you close?
Yeah.
How like there's obviously going to be a point before you're closed where you're still technically open. Like,
but it doesn't mean that your actions aren't going to be disrespectful or hurtful to someone, right? Because sure, you can be technically open, but when you've been moving in a direction, of course they're going to be upset, and she's right to be upset.
So then Toby tells Georgia that he's open, and then they have this like weird little like argument fight, and she gets up to kind of walk away, and then he's like, "Where are you going? We're talking here." And I'm like,
you're not really having a conversation, because you came out of the gate swinging, saying, we're open. I'm going to talk to Molly. It's like, oh, okay, like.
And then she's like, well, do what you want then.
You haven't asked me a question. You haven't like asked me how I feel about it. You just sat here and said, I'm open. I'm talking to Molly. She's like, okay, then go talk to her.
Like, yeah, like, what do I need to? I can't give you approval because you're already going to do what you want to do, and you're not my boyfriend, so like I can't say anything. And he just be like, well, are we open or not? Are we open or not?
Like, and I hated that. I hated that so much, because he's putting it on to her as if she's the one with the problem. It's the way that you approach the literally Destiny's Childish. Yeah. Because it's the way that he approached the conversation that made it get her back up. He could have gone to her and started it in a different way and said, you know, obviously I'm liking how things are going, and like I'm still focused on getting to know you, but I feel like I need to be true to myself, and I'm interested in, you know, getting to know Molly a little bit. Like, he could have said that, but he didn't.
Well, okay, so Ozzy here is saying this was like Tyreek flirting with Katie to get Ella to be close after Casa. I don't think that Toby has the motive of trying to get Georgia to want to close it off with him.
I think he just doesn't really fuck with her like that. I think he's really interested in Molly, and he doesn't want Georgia to restrain him from talking to Molly.
Right, but he also doesn't want to not have a couple.
Exactly.
So Demi gets a text. They're going to have a pre-loved punk party. #eBay.
I love when they make them do these little fake parties, because you know they're just standing there dancing to no music. And production's just like, okay, now twerk and dip. And you
okay,
guys,
okay, you're in the circle next. Yeah. It's actually my favorite. So we do see everybody getting ready for this party. Georgia is obviously gutted because of like the whole conversation he had with Toby. And then Toby says that he's still feeling it, but wants to talk to other people. And I'm like, well, then you're not feeling it.
And that's also not what you said earlier, because you came out of the gate being like, are we open or are we not? Like, if you're still feeling it, like, be nice to her.
Just be like, okay, normal would have been, even if he just wants to be able to pursue Molly and he has whatever's going on with Georgia, what I would think that he should have done would be like, hey, I know we're on Love Island. I know we had an opportunity to like talk in the past, and now we're kind of seeing where things go. and I like how things go, but I also want to really enjoy this experience fully. How do you feel if we're still if I still talk to somebody else and like still get to know other people? I still really like you, but I just want to just see other people that are in the villa that I might have had some interest in that I would, if you weren't here, I might have pursued. You know what I mean? Like something along those lines. But ask her how she feels about it.
Yeah.
As opposed to telling her, like, well, being open to me means that I can do whatever I want. You can't care.
Yeah. I did not like how he had that conversation. And I understand why she was rightfully like so like confused because she like for the last week we have been hugging, kissing, snuggling, and we were so excited to be rekindling. We had this connection in the past and you were so excited to see me and for be focused on me. And now all of a sudden you're like, are we open or not? Like
yeah, what happened to the whole like, oh, there might be times that we're not coupled up with each other. And he's like, oh, you're always a fatalist. Or
don't be so negative, right? I mean, okay. Yeah.
So Molly does chat with Chris, basically telling him that she's not interested in him. But then she is actually being hot and cold because Chris is like, you're being hot and cold. Like, I'm just like getting mixed messages from her. And like, that's kind of a huge red flag. And she's like, well, like, I was like kind of debating who I was going to choose. And he's like, well, that's really confusing because like, if like you're not interested in me, like, why were you debating whether you're going to choose? And like, so you don't like either of us, but then you chose someone that like, I agree, Chris. She is being very, very confusing and a lot of mixed messages.
I think that she doesn't want to hurt his feelings, but in doing so or trying not to hurt his feelings, she's actually just leading him on.
I was just saying with Toby and Georgia here, what was her answer when they are they open or not? I think she did have the problem, but open is talking to Molly. So why is Georgia mad and not close it?
I don't think it's about the being open or closed. I think it was the way that he approached the conversation that made her have the problem. Because she did say, yeah, you're right. You are open. But if you're coming to me as someone I've been in a relationship with or been hanging out with for a week and everything's been good, and then suddenly you're not just saying, I want to talk to someone, you're saying, well, I thought we were open, so like, why is it an issue? Like, now I've got my backup because why are you fucking yelling at me?
Absolutely. And like, now like semantics are coming into play. Like, okay,
exactly. It's like, I never said we were closed, but why are you coming to me like this?
Absolutely. If you want to go talk to Molly, just be like, hey, I want to talk to Molly. Like, I know we're still open. We're kind of feeling things through. How do you feel about that? Like, do we need to redefine the boundaries of our relationship? Like, something. I think she has every right to be upset about how he approached her.
I think it's less about the actual status of their relationship and the way that he approached her, for sure.
So this is so factual. This says that Toby had months to be with Georgia and wasn't until it was convenient for the show. He don't want that girl.
Exactly.
I mean, he even said that. He said that. He was like, well, why did we pursue things more outside of here?
Because he didn't want to, right?
Yep. I mean, he could also pursue things with Molly too. Like, I mean, I don't know if they're in the same circle, but like she was single. Yeah. Anyways, we'll see if maybe it's all just a ploy for plot. So Lewis and Demi are finally chatting. And they're just like, oh, do you think it's okay that we're like doing this in like front of Kaz? I'm just like, just do whatever the fuck you want to do, guys. Like, nobody actually cares.
That annoys me because now they're trying to make it look like Kaz is the one with an issue, and it's like, sure, she's allowed to be upset, like,
and like she's still like cuddling with her leg over him, like that's quite intimate, more so than like seeing them maybe. Well, if they kiss, it's the same thing, kind of thing. Anyways, I was just like, just get over yourselves. Like, she doesn't care that much.
Yeah.
So Georgia does say like what you said was hateful, and so she's like talking to Toby again, and he's like, well, I let you get to know Anton, and she's like,
now also, what are you talking about? You let me. Firstly, you didn't let me do anything, and secondly, it was the first day and we hadn't decided what was happening between us yet. We weren't even moving or behaving in the way that we have been over the last few like days. Like, I had a conversation with Anton, and then once her and Toby had the conversation about how they were excited to be back together, she basically stopped talking to Anton.
Do you think that maybe he's just bruised ego because she was considering Anton because he was a little bit older and that she said like, well, you're younger than me.
I mean,
Do you
it's
think that
possible. It's possible he's trying to put her in her place, but I mean, that's a huge red flag. Like, why would you ever be with a man who needs
Toby is a huge red flag.
You know what? Exactly. And why did I just call him a man when he is absolutely not?
Not a man. That's childish young boy. And that's when he says like, we do this in advance, and then he's like, he actually said F off Georgia. I'm like, I couldn't believe that he told he actually
no, he needs to go home. Somebody, when is the public vote? Someone send him home.
And she's like, and Georgia's like, I'm not like that with everyone.
Yeah.
And like, that's also valid. Like, he's so annoying to me.
Yeah.
So Toby is like, then he says like, oh, I'm not really an empathetic person. Like, I don't really understand people's feelings and when they're hurt or not. And I'm like,
which is probably why you're talking so fucking crazy.
But he's a Pisces.
So then he's lying.
Absolutely lying. They're all about feelings.
Yeah. And you know what it is then? I think it's just him feeling guilty. That's what it is. Because he knows.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Him saying like, oh, I don't really have feelings. It's like, no, you're choosing not to acknowledge her feelings.
Yeah.
But like, you understand where she's coming from 100%.
Yeah.
And you're choosing to tell her to F off and saying like, and blame it on like, oh, I'm not empathetic.
No, because he doesn't want to feel bad or have to feel bad.
But Anton says like, you guys aren't compatible. If he decides to try to sweep in on Georgia, Anton, stay away.
I want more for him.
So we see Georgia talking and saying asking the girls if she looks like an idiot, but they're saying like, no, you're valid in the way that you're feeling, blah blah blah. And then Anton gets a text, and it is all the guys getting together for a little party with Arabella. I'm like, why are the guys getting somebody?
Yeah, I know. I mean, we need someone for Kaz. I guess because they just brought in Josh. He was the last bombshell, so it's usually then female bombshell. I mean, I think Arabella's gonna throw some irons.
But she's like a decade older than, well, I guess like Toby. How old is she? She's in her 30s, I think.
She's 30 something. Yeah. I think that she's gonna cause a lot of drama because she's a model. She's always in these like celebrity circles. Hold on.
So as you're saying that the point that Toby wanted to clarity on the status of their situation, Georgia thought that they were in a relationship. He didn't think they were close. I don't agree fully. If Toby wanted clarity on their situation, he would said, hey, I know that we're open, but I still feel like talking to Molly. How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
That to me would be somebody getting clarity on their situation. Not being like, we're open. Why are you saying something about the fact that like you don't want me to talk to somebody? Like that's not getting clarity on the situation.
It was just a bit too
making
defensive.
Himself feel good about the fact that he wants to crack on with Molly, and he knows that Georgia has feelings for him, and he wants to make it look like she is the bad guy and that
she's the one with the problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry, I cut you off from what you were saying before.
Oh, no, I was going to say, Arabella, I think that she's going to cause some problems for the villa. I mean, which is going to be great for us as viewers because she's a little bit older. And I think because of her status, she's in the celebrity circle. She's had a lot of famous boyfriends and she's gorgeous. And we know how immature these men are. I think we're going to see a lot of them competing for her attention. So I'm interested to see how this unfolds.
Do you think that she's a lot of the men's type?
Oh, yeah. Every single one of them. She's blonde.
Oh. Right. She's blonde.
She's blonde. She's posh. Right? I think every single one of them.
I've not seen the sneak peek yet, Liz. Not
yet. I
Tell
did
me.
see the sneak peek, and Toby is in the shit again. So apparently Toby and Arabella have a history. And from the sneak peek, it seems like there's some unfinished business that needs to be discussed.
Is she pissed?
She doesn't seem pissed, but you can tell that Toby's anxious.
Okay, great. That's fun. I want her to put him in his place. That's great.
I think she will. That's the energy that she was really coming with.
And I do feel, I mean, obviously I want Kaz to have somebody coming in for her, but I feel like they're going to focus on Georgia next. And like, because there are likely more options that would have Georgia as their type on
But
paper.
I feel like those options are already in the villa. I think that once it's clear that Toby and her are not progressing, I think Callum's going to pipe up for her. I think Chris is going to pipe up for her. I think that she has options in the villa. Kaz doesn't have any options in the villa.
You're right. But I don't know if the producers are going to bring somebody for Kaz.
No. Honestly, I feel like the producers are going to bring in someone for Hannah next, because Hannah also doesn't have any options in the villa.
So like Hannah and Kaz get some dates with people.
I hope so. That's what I would like to see. I want to see something for both of them.
Fingers crossed. Any other thoughts about this episode?
Yeah, just basically good riddance, Toby. I hope I never meet you in real life, because I might punch you in the face.
She's a pacifist, just words.
Just off of this episode's behavior.
Yeah, it's just and not Toby as a person, like Toby as this character that he is on this television show.
It's like, I just don't like how you're moving in this episode, Toby.
Yeah. I mean, or like in episodes past, I've been trying to like Toby, and it's never been working.
It's
and
because he's letting his insecurities get the better of him, right? Like, that's, I think, what all of this is. He's projecting a lot. He's expecting the women to go out of their way to validate him and his ego. And because of this insecurity, he keeps getting himself in these little messes all the time.
So as you're saying, like, I don't know, the fact that in the moment, Georgia did not say, I want to be closed off this week, but like, he's saying that he wants to talk to somebody else. So like, if she wanted to close it off, then he'll be like, okay, well, we're not there yet, so I guess we're gonna have to, like, either leave it open or stop talking to each other. So she can't really say that now, unless he asked her before showing interest in somebody else.
Yeah. Either way, I think that it's over for them, and I'm kind of fine with that.
Liz says that Arabella just broke up with a footballer, like a real one. So I don't think these guys will do.
Not a real one. She's like, not like these little Tyreek, Toby, kind of whatever they semi-pro bullshit, like an actual one.
Mary says, so we only like Toby because Chloe made him interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's be real. Chloe was the star and Toby was the +1. Absolutely.
Agree.
And that's probably what happened with their relationship demise, is that she was getting a lot of attention and he was in the background, and it might not have been direct cheating, but it might have just been emasculating, right?
Yeah. Right, because he was saying that he was having trust issues, or there was trust issues. And I think it was his inability to trust that she wanted to be there, given that she had all these opportunities.
100%. Like, she was the prize, and he didn't feel like he lived up to her. That's what I think happened and went down.
I think so.
She actually cheated on him. I think that she was too shiny, too famous, too popular, to people sliding into her DMs and people, you know what I mean? Like, she's getting all this traction too, and opportunities and podcasts and, like, you know what I mean? And I think that he just couldn't handle her being a bigger star than he is.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if we'll ever find out, but hopefully Chloe has some words soon.
Yeah. I mean, I hope she talks about it on her podcast.
Yeah.
Which is a bigger platform than anything that he has. Oop.
Exactly. Well, thank you everybody here in the chat for hanging out with us. Not sure when we'll be back next, maybe Tuesday evening, if that could work, for a Monday and Tuesday recap. That's if I don't get called in to fly. I do fly tomorrow. But yeah, we'll keep you in touch. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so you know when we do go live with our next recap here of Love Island. And do you have anything going on, Miss Mansa, that you'd like the people to know?
Nothing yet, but I feel like there's some things brewing under the surface, so watch out.
Brewing, like that relationship chart.
Oh, you know what? We need to have a follow-up on that.
All right. Coming soon is a relationship chart of all these Islanders. Yeah, someone needs to do it.
Right? Exactly.
well
I'm surprised it hasn't been done already. I'm sure Reddit has already made one.
Well, maybe it's outdated though.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, oh, they keep on have to update it like every day. So please like this video and leave in the comments, who do you think that Arabella is going to couple up with? And who do you think that they might bring in for Kaz and or Hannah? Let us know your thoughts in the comments and we'll continue this conversation there. Talk to you soon, everybody. Bye.